Stupid! Stupid! Why the hell did I agree to this? She came down the stairs looking like $1,000,000. I've never seen her so sexy before, ever. She was wearing a short black cocktail dress and black 5-inch stilettos. Her hair was pulled back into a bun that framed her beautiful face, and she was wearing a diamond necklace and matching long dangling earrings that I bought for our first wedding anniversary. She looked like a movie star. So, what do I look like? Do you think he'll like it? Please, baby, don't do this. It's all on your conscience, Dave. It's all on your conscience. Don't you dare blame it on me. It's the only way. The doorbell rang. Well, Dave, aren't you going to open the door? I took her hand. Please, Lara. She pulled her hand out of my grip. Open the door, Dave, now. I turned and walked slowly towards the door, my head in confusion. I put my hand on the latch and looked back at her. She nodded towards the door. Hello, Charles. Good evening, Dave. Are you sure you're okay with this? Lara appeared behind my shoulder. Of course. He's sure. Come in, Charles. Oh, is this for me? Charles was her ex, and he was her boss. He was holding a bouquet of at least 24 red roses. He looked as elegant as she did and was wearing a tuxedo and bow tie. Behind him in our driveway was a huge black limousine. Oh my God, Lara, you look amazing. Charles walked past me as if I wasn't even there, leaning in to receive a kiss from my wife. She took the flowers and handed them to me. They're beautiful, Charles, thank you. Put it in a vase for me, darling. He held it for much longer, indecently longer, and just as I was about to protest, Lara shot me a scathing look over his shoulder. I lowered my ease. Yes, honey, I'll put them in the waiter. I walked into the kitchen to find a vase under the sink, straining to hear whispers in the hallway behind me. I heard the click of her shoes on the wooden floor of the living room, and when I entered the room behind them, carrying a vase of flowers, I desperately wanted to smash it on the back of Charles's head. Place the flowers on the table, honey. They are really beautiful. Thank you very much, Charles. They pale before your beauty. I cringed at his comment. Well, thank you, she replied. Why was I so stupid? Why did I even agree to this? It was much, much more difficult than I thought. Lara said, Don't wait, darling. I may not return until the morning. What? Wait a minute. She turned on her heel and led Charles by the hand into the hall. Then she opened the front door and looked me straight in the eyes as she stood on her tiptoes and kissed Charles passionately, right in the open doorway with the lights on so any of the neighbors could see her. She blew me a kiss and slammed the door. Charles walked her to the limousine. I leaned back on the steps of my stairs in despair, clasping my head in my hands. 2 weeks ago, I was at a stag party with a few of my friends. Harry was getting married, and we all decided to spend the night before he got under the thumb. Everything was going great, and we were all happy, having a brilliant night. Bill bought us all VIP tickets to a private booth at Killer Heels, a strip club in town. We jumped the line and were shown to our table. A bucket of chilled champagne was already there waiting for us, and we had a great view of the stage. A stunning young woman named Debbie said she would be our waitress for the evening, and if we needed anything, just ask. What do you mean? Harry asked, raising an eyebrow, trying to be smart. Anything, she smiled back. He shouted loudly, I fucking love it here. We ordered large drinks and were all huddled into the booth when a vision of wondrous beauty walked into the middle of the stage and the announcer spoke. Tammy, sweet innocent 18-year-old girl, people please don't give her any trouble. If you know what I mean by conveying my appreciation to her, Tammy! The crowd went wild, including us. She was stunning, and boy, how could she move. She turned her body into positions that I could only dream a woman could do. As the night wore on, we all became more and more loud and angry. Ian decided that the girl should give Harry a lap dance. Debbie replied, No problem. $50 here in the seat or $100 in the back room. Do you have one of the girls in mind? No, just any sexy one, please. And how about we have it here first, and then for all 5 of us in the back room? How much will that cost? You want 1 girl for each of you? 5 girls? Hell yes, Barry said. I'm not that kind of guy. I'm willing to spend the night watching strippers, but I have a good woman at home and I'm not disrespecting her by cheating on her. I'll stay at the bar, okay? Ian wouldn't tolerate anything like that. Barry, don't be an asshole. Join us. A dancer came to our table to dance for Harry, and she was amazing. She pushed through us to get to him and danced for him. We also got a beautiful sight watching it. She fell into his lap and continued her performance. It was all over too quickly, and we wanted it to continue. Debbie came back and said, "Okay, everything is arranged. 5 of our most beautiful girls are waiting for you in the 3rd room. You have 30 minutes for $1,500 for an hour. The girls will arrange everything else you might need for an additional fee." We all, with the exception of Barry, entered the private room, full of excitement. They didn't disappoint us. These girls were so amazing, so sexy. They surrounded us on all sides. Harry, as the groom, had an extra girl. Ian must have made a deal with his girlfriend. I soon found myself asking how much the extra cost. The night cost us about $1,000 each, but we left completely empty. Barry ordered us all a taxi home. "Geez, mate, you don't know what you missed. That Tammy was crazy. Harry had 4 girls working him over at one point." Barry remained adamant that it was right not to participate. I stumbled home around 4 a.m. Lara was fast asleep in bed, and I was sleeping on the couch, where I fell. The next morning, I woke up with a terrible hangover. Lara brought me strong coffee and sat next to me. "Looks like you all had a good time. Wait, what are those marks on your neck?" "Hickeys, you have hickeys." "What did you do?" I raised my hand to my neck. "What?" "You have hickeys. Take off your shirt. Let me see." "Lara, don't be stupid." "Take her off now." I reluctantly stood up and undid my buttons. To my horror, my torso was covered in lipstick marks in the shape of kisses. "You fucking bastard, you cheated on me." No, I didn't do anything. I didn't want to. I don't remember anything. I was just drunk and I don't remember anything." The lacy blue thong fell out of my pocket when I tried to tell her that I didn't do anything. She looked at me with tears in her eyes and ran out of the room. I tried to follow her, but my head was pounding. I heard the front door slam, and I lay down again, holding my head. At 5 p.m., I woke up still on the sofa. Lara was still missing, and I called Barry. "Bloody hell, mate, what did we do last night?" "Don't ask Dave. I wasn't there, remember. I stayed away. But Harry is in big trouble. Shirley found out from her girlfriend who works at the bar there that you all had sex with strippers. Harry says the wedding might be canceled." "Oh, bullshit. Damn it, Shirley will tell Lara. Oh, damn." "Don't say I didn't warn you all. Your lustful desires ruled your brains last night, buddy." I dialed Lara's number. Voicemail. I assumed she had been out all day and was really mad at me, but she would forgive a drunken bachelor party, wouldn't she? I waited half an hour and called again, still going to voicemail. It was already 6 p.m., and she was nowhere to be seen. A terrible thought suddenly occurred to me, and I ran upstairs to check her wardrobe. Phoo! She's still with me. I made myself a sandwich and coffee, turned on the TV, and waited. At 9 p.m., I heard the key turn in the door. Lara finally appeared. I ran to the door to see if she was alone. 2 of her friends were with her. "Lara, can we talk?" She put her palm out in front of her. "Don't." Then she pushed past me and climbed the stairs to our room, followed by her friends, leaving me in the corridor. I felt like a beaten dog. Half an hour later, her friend Jill came down. "You hurt her a lot, Dave. She trusted you. You had sex with strippers, for God's sake, with strippers. We did everything we could to calm her down, but she's seriously mad at you. She might even leave you." Damn. What can I do? Tell me, what can I do? You should have thought of that last night. Jill and Francis went home, leaving Lara upstairs. I got up shortly after they left and knocked softly on our door. "Leave. Lara, please. Go away. Not today, Dave. Not now. Leave me alone. Please, Lara, we need to talk." "Dave, fuck off now, or I'll fuck off forever. You hear me?" I've never heard her be so angry. I left her alone and went downstairs. I heard her talking on the phone several times and then went down to the kitchen. I stood in the kitchen doorway and she looked terrible. Her makeup was smeared all over her face. Her eyes were swollen. It was obvious that she cried a lot, and I mean a lot. She turned around with a glass of water in her hand and saw me standing there. I went over to hug her, and she threw the glass at me. It hit me and then shattered on the tile floor. "You cheated on me, Dave. You ruined us. You ruined our marriage." She ran back upstairs, and that was the last thing I saw that night. I lay on the couch awake most of the night. The next morning, I made bacon sandwiches and put them on the table. Then I poured myself some coffee and turned around to see Laura eating my breakfast. I smiled slightly, expecting another tirade, but none came. "Can we talk?" She nodded, but didn't smile. But at least she wasn't yelling at me. It was the beginning of contact. "I'm really sorry. I know you know what happened, and I'm really sorry I was so drunk. I know it's not an excuse, but I got caught up in the moment and was drunk." She looked at me, expecting more, but I had nothing more to say. I just stood there looking stupid. What more could I say? "That's it? And that's your whole excuse? You were drunk, so it's okay, right?" She didn't say it with the anger I expected. She was alarmingly calm as she asked me. This made me nervous. I still stood silently, looking at my feet. "At least have the courage to look me in the eye and tell me you're sorry." I looked up to her. She was the love of my life, and I ruined everything in one night with my buddies. At least Barry remained faithful. At least he cared about his wife. At least he didn't cheat on his wife or break his vow. What could I say? Sorry. Sorry, damn smart, sorry, is that all you can do? "Laura, what can I say? I'm truly sorry. This should never have happened. I promise it will never happen again. No, this definitely won't happen again." Again she answered with terrifying calm. "I talked to my friends all night and we came to a compromise. You owe me. In fact, I'm going to pay it back next week." "Anything, anything. Please, Laura, I'm so sorry. Anything." It was 2 weeks ago that I agreed for her to go on a date with her old friend Charles. I had to accept everything she did on the date as payback. If it was sex, then I should have accepted it as part of her date. This was the price of our moving forward. If it was just a kiss, a hug, and dinner, then that was also payback. I prayed for the latter. Then I have to ask for forgiveness on my knees in front of her and swear that I will never cheat on her. Then we must decide together how we will live further and how it will all end. Lara did not let me near her for 2 weeks after my offense. No sex, no cuddling, just a kiss on the cheek. She kept hinting that she needed to save herself for the date. I've hated the last 2 weeks with a passion. I was so stupid, and now I'm paying for it. I watched as Lara got into the limousine through the window of the salon. Charles walked around it on the other side and climbed inside. Her limousine door opened again, and my heart began to beat faster. Had she changed her mind and was coming back to me? The bell rang. I ran to the door. She stood and smiled at me as I spread my arms to embrace her in my arms. She reached out and dropped her thong into my open palm. My jaw dropped. She turned and walked away. I sit, worrying, rocking in my chair all night, waiting for her to return. I can't sit still. I get up and go to the window and go to the kitchen. My feet continue to bounce on my toes. I can't keep my hands still, and my head is completely confused. What is she doing? Is she going to have sex with him? Of course it is. She gave me her thong. If that's not a clear sign of her intentions, what else is? It's my own stupid fault. It's the price I agreed to and must pay. Damn stupid. I hear a car and rush back to the window, but it's not her. I turn on the TV again, trying to clear my mind of the dark thoughts, but visions of her in the limo fill my brain. Visions of her having sex, and it really hurts. It's unimaginable. My stomach twists into a knot, my head hurts, even my chest begins to heave with pain. There's a car again, and I rush to the window. Again, it's not her. It's 2 a.m. and I'm far from sleep. I'm pacing around the house. I want to bang my head against the walls. I slam my fist into the living room door and only damage my arm and not the door, but at least it takes my mind off my thoughts for a minute. My thoughts are killing me. My visions are becoming obsessive and destroying my mind. I imagine her making love to him, and tears well up in my eyes. What have I done? I feel completely empty inside. I don't know what to do with myself. All I can think about is that she's having sex with another guy now and I can't change anything. It's my fault what's happening now. I cheated on her. I broke my O2. I betrayed her. Will she leave me? Now my whole body is shaking and I am shaking, not out of anger at her, but at myself for allowing this to happen. I am ashamed of myself for letting my wife down, and she is taking revenge on me with my consent. I actually gave this man my blessing to have sex with my wife. I feel bile rising in my mouth, that taste that comes right before you throw up, but it doesn't come and doesn't relieve me of this feeling. I don't hate her for what she's doing tonight. It's my fault. I hate myself, and I have to be punished if I want her back in my life. I was so stupid, so stupid. Suddenly, the taste of bile reappears, and I vomit into the bowl I took earlier. My stomach empties, and I feel better for a minute until I see her face in my mind again. Maybe right now, she's making love to him. Right now, in the limousine? Was he really touching her perfect body, my wife's perfect body, all night? Will she still be mine if she comes home? I go to the bathroom and look at myself in the mirror, brushing the sick taste out of my mouth. I see the asshole who let this happen tonight looking at me. A stupid man who got carried away by circumstances and now has to pay for it. Did I hear the key opening the lock? I run downstairs but stop halfway to see my wife outside our door kissing her beau goodbye. My heart sinks even lower than I thought possible. Thank you for a wonderful night, Charles. Good night. She closed the door and turned to me. Oh, are you still awake? How could I sleep? It's 3:30 in the morning. Where have you been? When I ask this question, I think to myself, stupid question. She smiles at me, what looks like a genuine smile, and asks, well, have you been thinking about my night? How my date went? I nod dumbly, unable to say a word. Let's go to the front room. I follow her around like a puppy as she sits on the couch looking up at me. You know what you have to do, don't you? I begin to tremble again, my arms and legs showing it visibly as I stand in front of her. Come on your knees. Get on your knees now. Please, Lara, please don't make me do this. Her outstretched finger touches my chin and she looks into my eyes. This is the price. Do it. Get on your knees and ask for forgiveness. Swear that you will never cheat on me. She leans back on the sofa. This is the price of your deception. Kneel down and ask for forgiveness. How badly do you want to keep what we once had, Dave? I knelt down in front of her and asked for forgiveness for the betrayal, for the stupidity that I committed. I swore to her that I would never cheat on her again. I had to see if you would agree with me spending the night with Charles. I had to make sure that we were even and that you would beg for forgiveness on your knees in front of me. I needed to see how far you would go to save our marriage. That Charles? He didn't have sex with you? No, he didn't have sex with me. But, I had to see if you were sorry enough to let me do this tonight. We had a wonderful dinner and Charles asked me to dance. He wanted to have sex with me, and believe me, I was close to letting him. We planned this to teach you a lesson. But I didn't let him do this because I love you. I really want to improve our relationship and save our marriage. I hope tonight was hell for you. You put me through hell for the last 2 weeks. I will never forget your betrayal. But in time, I may forgive you. I hope this gives you an idea of what I went through. I thought you really did it. I've been to hell and back tonight. I sat back on my heels, and the emotions of the night came flooding out. Barriers came crashing down, and I began to sob. We both went to bed, broken, without kisses, without hugs. We just slept. The next morning, we talked like never before. I have learned my lesson and know that I will never cheat on this wonderful woman again, no matter what the temptation. We have a long way to go to get back to where we were. But I love this smart lady with all my heart, and I know she loves me. I plan to hold on to her until we're old and gray. Subscribe to our channel so that your second chaff doesn't cheat on you, and go ahead and listen to the next story, because this story is nothing compared to the next one. If you're under 18, don't even think about listening to the next one.